Here we have a grandfather movement. It's a Urgos 32073. B is in boy. It is a, I think it's a triple chime. Yep, it's a triple chime movement, and it's in need of repair. So we will begin that process. Yeah, okay. Let's start by just taking this thing off of the board. And that's good. Get this board out of here. Clean. It's really dirty. And then we want to take the ends. Oh, we have a container here. Take the ends off of the chain. At least these ends, so that we can get the chains off. Ooh, mercy. Wow, are those stiff. Okay. Okay, there's that one. And I just twist them sideways. Maybe it's just me getting old. Okay, and then we can just pull those chains out. Oh, that's only two of them. The third one's get out yet. Oh, that one's stuck. It gets stuck. There it goes. Okay. Two chains out. Let's see here. Guess we're missing a hook. Okay. There's the chain, so set those back. And we will take these brackets off that hold it onto the board. And we can put those into the chains. All right, let's just take a look at it generally. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, right there you can see, here's the quarter, half, three-quarter, and hour cam. There's the rack and snail, and here's the lift. Okay, it looks pretty straightforward. This is what changes the chime or that is being played, and what that does is shifts this back and forth so that we can get here you see the pins being shifted back and forth. Okay, it looks like pretty straightforward. First thing we're going to do is we're just going to check and see kind of where we got. That looks okay. Looks okay. Yeah, a little bit worn, but not that bad. Okay, we'll check this over. Alright, the only two pivots I see that are really worn are the second wheel and the center. See it flopping back and forth, so we're going to have to replace those. That's the only two. The others just need to be cleaned. Okay, we're going to see here that on the strike side, chime side in the stop position. There's a double hook here that hooks onto a pin on the second wheel before the fan, for the governor. So that pin has to be right here when this cam has this lever that's connected to that same lever. So if we trip this lever, this is in that notch. And on the strike side, or on the strike side, the notch on the gathering pallet is what actually stops things there. So the next to last wheel is the warning wheel. And start by removing those two nuts in there and getting this this roller and hammer out of the way. Just need to remember the spring in here has to be in here. That's what pushes the rollers back and forth. Okay, so let's take that out first. Okay, so let's loosen those. Those are moving or not. Yeah, we'll get those out. Alright. Let's see what else we got going here. Okay. That takes that whole assembly out. Set that aside. And then I want to take these off, and that's all. Well, we can leave those on for now. Let's take this wheel off. Well, let's get rid of the suspension spring before we damage it. I'll take the screw out of that one. And that suspension spring will come right out. And let's take off this as well. Boy, those are tight. Yeah, let's see if we get a bigger screwdriver in that slot. No, not that one. See about this one. Yeah. That wasn't was a little tough too. Okay, and then we can take the, yeah, wow, there might be a problem. Here we got, you see what we got here. Very, just dirty. Yeah, it's not worn at all. Just very, very dirty. That's very dirty. Okay. We'll get a separate container for that stuff. Okay, those are done. Now let's take this off. It's got a set screw under here. Okay, that comes off. All right, put that in there. All righty, and we can take, we don't have to take that off right now. Let's see what else we got here. We can take the strike hammers off, same thing, there's two nuts in there, and then we can pull that out. I think, yeah, there's a little spring there. I'll take and undo the spring. Oh, the spring is up against the bar, so that's fine. Okay, let's see how tight these are. Oh, that's too tight. We'll have to, okay, and go get some things I hadn't used for a long time, some open end wrenches, or box wrenches. Let's see, how about, now these may be metric, but we should be able to find one that'll fit. Let's see about this one. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Okay. That's got it started. Take that one out. Can't really get my fingers in there. Okay, pull that one out and put the nuts back on there so we don't mess them up. Okay, got that done. And others, that one will come out when I wonder what holds that spring on. Oh, it's in a hole. Okay, so we'll have to wait till we separate the plates. Alright, this one can stay. All we need to do is take those two off to separate the plate. So we'll go to the front and we will start by taking off all this mechanism. Gotta see how they're put together. Looks like it's gotta have something behind it. Yeah, okay, this has got a set screw here. Let that go, that'll take these off. Okay. I better take a picture of that one. What did I do? Okay. Okay, we have this dismantled. Here are the hammers. Here's the strike side. Here's the time side, run side, and here are the chime side. Here are the plates. There are the two pivots that we're going to have to rebush, pivot holes. And here's the other plate. Now I'm going to toss them into the, one group at a time, I'm going to toss them into the ultrasonic cleaner. The amount of corrosion and verdigris, in each of these pivots is so bad that even the ultrasonic cleaner won't take it out, so I'm having to go about literally removing it this way, and with polishing compounds it's really in there. It's going to take a while to really clean this one. Right, with the plates thoroughly cleaned, these are the only two bushings that are going to have to be redone. That's the second wheel and the center wheel. See how bad that one really is. And so those two we're going to have to replace. Okay, these are the two we have to replace, rebush. So I just make sure I've marked the centers so that I can find the centers if I lose them, because this has been rebushed before, and some of these bushings they get lost. I may have a problem. So mark the centers so we can re-find the center of the hole when we're done here. Alrighty. Here's the pivot we need to replace here. The pivot goes in the center hole. We've got to drill that out, or ream it out. I got to find out what size that's going to be. So let's see where we're at here. Let's see what we got here for size. Looks like 1.1.5 millimeters. 1.5 is what's got to go drilled out here. Well, or a reamer. Going to ream that hole out and put a new bushing in it. Okay, so here's bushing with 1.5 millimeter bore, which is what we need. And we'll broach it out, or ream it out. The reamer is a 3.5 millimeter reamer. We'll do that. Let's just see how close this is going to fit. Oops. Very close. Have to be broached out after it's put in. But we will now do that. Okay, and now we have reamed that out to 3.5. And we can now put a bushing in it. Broach it until it fits. Let's see. There's the bushing. And we are going to get a little, I've got two of them. And I'm going to set this on here. And I'd like to chamfer this just a bit. We'll take the burr off and make the bushing go in a little easier. We'll put this here. And these bushing. Hit it with a hammer. Okay, it's flush. Tricky because I can't take that out of there, but we'll see what we can do. It's working now. The second wheel is going to have to be redone. And it goes this way. As you can see, that is excessive. Much too much this way, but we got to rebush this. We'll do that off camera. Okay, so with the two bushings in there now, there's no flopping around. Tiny little play in there. Tiny little play in there, that's good. And with those wheels in place now, that's how easily they turn. I think we're in good shape. And we can now continue to put this back together. Okay, here we are. We got it done. Reassembled. Running nicely. We'll get it back in the case, which is over here. I got the case repaired and cleaned, so the movement is ready to go back in. And here are the strike mechanism. All cleaned up, and there's the two bushings that we did right there. That's all set, clean, ready to go.